Today I'm bringing you a recipe that is perfect for back to school, perfect for fall, to do with your kiddos. And today's recipe is sponsored by Jus-Rol, which is a refrigerated dough company that I've worked with a bunch in the past. I absolutely love their products. You can find it in the refrigerated dairy case at most grocery stores, and I'll put the link to where you can find it in a store near you. But today we are making, and it's a mouthful, pepperoni pizza, puff pastry, pinwheels. So if you can say that fast, you know, coffee on me. But it's really simple. It's only like 5 ingredients, and I can prep it in 5 minutes, and then we chill the dough a little bit, and then you bake it off for 15-16 minutes. And so it's really fast to do. But let's get in the kitchen and I'm gonna show you how we do it. All right, so here is our puff pastry. I will just show you how the packaging comes. One thing I really like is that it's not frozen, so you don't have to worry about thawing it at all. It's just in the refrigerated section, and it's ready to go whenever you're ready to work with it. So it comes on parchment paper, and this parchment paper is safe to use up to 425 degrees. And we're gonna bake at 400 today, so there's no issue there. But it's just super easy to roll out, and it honestly turns out perfect every time, which I love, easy and consistent. So this is a great product for me, and it's so fast that I'm even risking doing this while Henry's having a nap, because I can get this together in about 5 minutes. So we're gonna spread out our tomato sauce, and I'll show you the rest of the ingredients. So this is half a cup of marinara sauce. You can use any kind that you like to cook with. And then I have half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning here. We're just gonna add a little bit of an herby note to it. Spice it up just a little bit. If your kids are okay to a little bit of spice, you could add some crushed red pepper flakes in here, or if this is for the grown-ups. I'm gonna leave it out today though. Then we have 1 cup of shredded cheese. I have a mixture here of a Mexican shredded cheese and then mozzarella. I like how fine the Mexican cheese is because it melts really easily, but I love that flavor of mozzarella, anything pizza. You can see this would just be super fun for an after school activity for the kiddos. They can make their own snack. And you'll also see I'm leaving a little bit of a border on the puff pastry. We're gonna trim off the ends, so you don't need the edges. And then for the bottom, you wanna leave about a 1/2 inch border, so when we roll it up, everything doesn't just like spill out. I'm gonna sprinkle over half a cup of chopped pepperoni. And you could mix up whatever kind of ingredients you wanna fill these with. But by chopping it up, it'll make it easy for us to make our pinwheels a little bit later. All right, so you just wanna make sure everything is generally distributed, but this is really easy and you don't need to make it perfect, so it can be a little bit scattered, especially when you're cooking with kids. They kind of do their own thing, and that's totally fine. So now we are going to, like a typewriter motion like you would for cinnamon rolls, I'm gonna just loosen up the front edge of my dough. Let me bring this towards me a little bit so you can see that. And we're just going to tightly fold over that first edge. That's gonna kind of be able to help us get going here with our roll. So pinwheels are really fun, and I've seen people do pinwheel ideas for, like instead of just a regular sandwich, you can do like ham and cheese pinwheels on tortilla, just kind of change it up a little bit. This would have been delicious just to bake as is, but the pinwheels kind of take it up a notch and present something that is familiar for the kids, but it's also a little bit different. That can be like a fun way to get some picky eaters to try new things. You know, you give them something that you know that they like the flavors of, and you present it a little bit differently. And that'll kind of help open doors for them to try more things. All right. We're gonna just roll this all the way to the end here. I have a little bit of sauce coming out the edge, so I'm just gonna scoop that off. Don't get too messy. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the parchment that it comes on, and we're gonna roll it up. And this is great because it's not a lot of cleanup. So Now that we have our log, we're gonna refrigerate this for 30 to 60 minutes. You wanna get it nice and chilled down so that when we slice it into our pinwheels, it doesn't all just fall apart. Okay, so I'm gonna get this in the fridge and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, nap time is over for this little guy, so he's gonna join us to finish off the recipe. So I have the oven preheating to 400 degrees, and I just took our dough out of the fridge. So you can just unwrap that. And he's gonna give me an extra challenge of not being able to see entirely. Okay, so I have a serrated 6-inch knife here. I think that that's easiest for cutting doughs like this. So we can just trim off our little end piece. You can discard that. And then we're gonna make about 3/4 of an inch to an inch cuts here. You can kind of make them whatever size you like. If you go larger, it'll affect the baking time though. All right, and then I have some parchment paper on baking sheets over here. We're going to arrange them and get them in the oven. It's gonna take about 16 to 18 minutes in my experience. Just bring your baking sheet over here. So when you take them and place them, you just kind of want to, oh, oven's ready to go. You just kind of want to make them into a little bit of a circle, but they don't have to be perfect because they'll puff up nicely. And you want to give a little bit of room in between them as well. Oh, Henry is pushing. Goodbye. All right, I'm gonna get these guys into the oven and we'll see them in just a little bit. All right, ready for the tongue twister? Here are our final pepperoni pizza, puff pastry pinwheels. And these guys baked for about 17 minutes, give or take a minute. And I have in the little bowl here some marinara sauce that I warmed up and just put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of the marinara and then sprinkled a little bit on top of the pinwheels for a little contrast in color there. But I wanted to thank Jus-Rol for sponsoring another one of my recipe developments. I really love working with this brand and I hope you check it out. I'm gonna put the link to their store locator, and then I'm also gonna put a link to my blog post where you can save the recipe. There's gonna be a recipe card you can just print out from my website to make it nice and easy. And I would love it if you tag me if you guys make this with your family or for a little party appetizer. All right, I'm gonna try one of these pizza pinwheels with my little sous chef here. We're gonna dunk it in the marinara sauce. It'll be so good. Did you hear that crunch? I can't wait till Henry can cook with me in the kitchen. We're gonna have so much fun. I hope he likes it as much as I do.